Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 9th of September. So last week we had Non Farm Payrolls. This week we've got the ECB, and Brexit news never disappoints with creating volatility for Great British Pound. So let's go and take a look at a few markets that we're keeping a close eye on here in the trading room at the start of this week. So if we come and take a look at the Dow Jones here and take a look at our favorite US index market, we can see that the market has been relatively buoyant of lately. And certainly the non-farm payroll news that was, even the numbers which were disappointing, didn't disappoint the market. So the market still managed to hold up above that 26,800 level. So from a high time frame perspective, this market still looks strong. It's sort of weathering off any kind of sort of downturn here, and as long as the market sort of holds above that 26,800 level, I think we could start to look for a move, at least to initially up towards that 27,000. So the way that the markets are at the moment, we need a bit more. I think we need a bit more optimism in order for the market, a bit more good news for the market to push up there. But I'm certainly looking at longer prices here on the US index markets. If, however, the market disappoints, if we get some negative action coming in, then we've got some very well defined structure points for targets to the short side. So if the market breaks below 26,800, we've got 26,700 as another sort of milder support level here. But below that, we've got then that 26,500 price point. So we've got some very well defined price points above and below price. My preference is here looking for that longer trend to prevail. Now, if we come and take a look at the commodities here, I think one of my more favorite ones here is silver. Precious metals have come off lately. We've seen a big decline here. We've had quite a bit of volatility on Friday, but the market is coming into some support areas. Longer term, we can see that these trends, certainly looking at the daily trend here, looking very, very sort of strong and very reasonable. Plenty of volatility in this market, but it is, as I say, coming back into some key price points. So if we take a look at this here on the weekly chart, you'll see what I mean. We've got the retracement back into around this sort of $18 level. $18, if you look back through time, that's been sort of key support and resistance. If $18 can't hold, then we've got $17.50, which again has been another very key level on this market where the market's found support and resistance. And below that, even that $17 level. My preference here is that this market looks strong. It looks like we could be finding a bit of support around this $18 level. So my preference here is that if the market can find support here, we start to look for long opportunities on silver. If it doesn't, then we can sort of easily slip back into 1750 and 1700. But if you take a look at this on the daily time frame, we're right back into that sweet spot here, back into the moving averages on the daily. And you look back in time throughout this sort of daily trend, every time the markets come back into the zone here, into the fair value zone, it's sort of found new momentum and the market's moved on again. So for this trend to stay intact, we really need to be sort of finding support sort of around this sort of area. Now, when we come to currency markets, probably one of the markets here that is starting to look a little bit more interesting is Aussie against the Kiwi. A lot of these currency markets have been whipsawed left, up and down, and left and right throughout the past sort of like few weeks to months. And a lot of the longer term trends are starting to look a little bit sort of battle worn at the moment. Aussie Kiwi here looking a little bit more interesting and a little bit sort of smoother on the higher time frame structures. For me, I like this level on the weekly chart. The market sort of got above this level, and even though we've seen resistance and turning points at these areas in the past, if the market can hold above this price point here, then I'm looking for longer prices on Aussie Kiwi. At the moment, we can see if we come down to the daily, you can see that we've got a very well structured trend here. We've got good geometry and good convergence with the indicators as well. And the market's just sort of pulled back into this sort of level and sort of finding support here. You can see that the previous couple of candles here, the current candle and the previous candle on the daily time frame, just indicate sort of rejection of lower prices. And now the market's above that level. I'd be looking for longer prices here on Aussie against the Kiwi. So if we come down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that the market started to turn around now, and what we really need to see is some sort of trend start to form on these mid time frames. They're looking a little bit sort of as a turning point here. Higher prices certainly would look sort of more interesting, and certainly if we can get above this 1.0700, then I think we're into a nice clear sort of trading opportunity, clear trading window above price to the long side. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on for trading opportunities at the start of this week. I certainly hope it helps. Look forward to speaking to you later in the week. Bye for now.